So despite the fact that these are the new girls in town, it doesn't negate the reality that they have taken the Real Housewives of Atlanta's crown. Let's discuss. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beasley here. I hope you all are staying cool, calm, and collected out there. So it is just so good to be back. And the best thing to get back into the swing of things is to talk about Potomac, the Real Housewives of Potomac to be exact. You guys, I will say, I hate to compare one black franchise to another, but baby, Potomac, they are just the sight to see. The Real Housewives of Atlanta's last season just went off and it was a flop, a total flop. And for the first time in history, I did not watch majority of the episodes. I watched the first 6 and then I just kept up with the rest of it via the YouTubers that do the YouTube reviews on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because I was not about to waste my time watching these girls drop a dime when they need to fall in line and realize that they are not that girl anymore. So it's almost a sad sight to see how far from grace the Real Housewives of Atlanta has fallen. Like, I didn't even watch last season's reunion, y'all. Like, that's how disinterested I was with those girls. Like, the Real Housewives of Atlanta used to be the star of the network, but now it is the dog. Like, it is in the dog house, you guys. I think they probably have maybe like one good season to get it together, and if they don't, a lot of those girls are going to get a pink slip. But I will ask you guys this. Do we love the Real Housewives of Potomac because it's new, or do we love it because it's actually more entertaining? And maybe, honestly and truthfully, multiple truths can coexist, and it's probably like a mix of the two. But I will say, this season looks to be very entertaining. Like, the first episode, right off the bat, I give it an A+. I give it probably like a 9 out of 10, you guys. It was a great way to open the season. Now, if you guys have watched me in the past, like way back in the day, in the beginning of the channel, I did Real Housewives reviews, and if you guys have stuck with me that long, you know that there's certain girls that I do not like and certain girls that I do like on this show. But you know, like I said, I give everybody like a clean slate at the beginning of every single season. And since this season is taking a page out of the Basketball Wives handbook and being all about colorism, I'm going to go ahead and talk about each cast member from lightest to darkest. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? So starting off, let's talk about Ashley Darby, aka Miss 50-inch forehead. Now, I must say, you guys, for the longest, I could not stand Ashley. Like, Ashley was an instigator, a shit stirrer, and a shit starter. But I will say, I got to give credit where credit is due. Baby, homegirl looks good. Homegirl looks good. Now, I am a gay man, but whenever I see a bad bitch, I get a little bit of an itch because, baby, pregnancy did a good number on that body. Like, oh my gosh, she looks amazing. Ashley's main storyline is going to be about her getting a divorce when, honestly and truthfully, they clocked her tea in the first episode because she's not really going to get a divorce. She's just doing this for a storyline. Like, that's what Ashley does. Now, I gotta give, like, her kudos because Ashley will find a way to stay on this show, even if it's exploiting her marriage and her relationship and overall her family life and aesthetic. She is going to do what she has to do to get to the bag. Just like she had to let this old man with worms plow her to get a bag, she is going to stay on code and do what is necessary to secure the bag. And I'm not mad, girl, you're doing the damn thing, you're living the dream. You even said that you don't pay for anything. So baby, Ashley, just do you. Like, we know that you have nothing really else going on in your life and you're kind of like starting to wind down on this show because you're running out of storyline. So if you want to exploit your marriage, go ahead. I mean, this man is still cheating on you regardless, so you might as well get your little end of the stick. But baby, just know that I see you, Ashley. You ain't slick. Moving on to the Grande Dame, Miss Karen Huger. Y'all, I love Karen. I really do. I love her to pieces. She is my favorite character on this show. A lot of people don't like Karen. I think mainly because she lies a lot, which she does lie a lot. But overall, I just feel like she is the queen bee of this show, and that is the main reason why she's still on this show. Now, they haven't gotten too deep into Karen's storyline, but I think her main storyline is going to consist of her allegedly cheating on Ray, which In my opinion, I believe it. Listen, y'all, I don't think she's cheating on Ray. I think Karen and Ray have an understanding. Like, that geriatric dick cannot get up, so I think that he probably gave her the okay to go out and play. Like, let's keep it real. Karen is still a young thing. I mean, she's not young, but in comparison to Ray, she is young, so that puss still needs a little bit of, you know, fine-tuning. So therefore, she's gonna go out and score. Not being a whore, but I will say she needs to get her fix. Like, honestly, like, you get to a certain age, like, I think in marriages, in order to keep the shit alive, you gotta spice the shit up, or you have to let like that one person do what they want to do in order to please you or come back to you and please you. Like, they have to find a way to reignite that spark. Not making excuses, but I just feel like those two have an understanding in their relationship. And then we have Giselle. Now, you guys, I cannot stand Giselle, but I will say I'm starting to not warm up to her, but like with Ashley, I see her. And the thing about Giselle and Ashley is they do, it's like they sacrifice a piece of themselves for like the greater good of the show. Like, they're gonna do what is necessary to make this show pop. Like, those two girls, they understand the assignment and they stay on that assignment until they pass it. That's why I have respect for Giselle, even though I cannot stand her ass at all. Like, I respect her. I think she's beautiful. She can't dress for shit and her wigs are fat as fuck, but I will say I do overall enjoy her as the villain. Like, she's okay with being the villain. And also, I do like her daughters. I think her daughters are beautiful and funny, and they're gonna grow up to be some amazing women. So Giselle, like, she serves her purpose. And then we have Robin, aka the soft stud of the bunch. Now, Robin's main storyline is going to be like her and Juan trying to figure things out, trying to figure out if they're going to get married again, trying to figure out if she's going to get a prenup, and I'm just like, the audacity. Robin, you fucked up your marriage because you fucked up y'all's finances, and now you have the nerve to get a prenup on Juan when you were the reason, like, you were the reason that you guys were in shambles to begin with. Now, on the other hand, Juan did step out of the marriage early on. He did cheat. You know, he was in the NBA, and the NBA boys are going to go out and play. But another reason why I feel like he cheated was because, now listen, like, you two just became homeboys. Like, you became homeboys that so happen to be married. Like, it is what it is. You two are homeboys with kids. And y'all, I gotta keep it real. I do actually like Robin. I really do. Like, I think she has a great personality and is a very logical, like, individual. I just don't like her when she's up under Giselle. When she's up under Giselle, it is just a complete dry spell. A dry spell in her personality because she becomes a shell of herself. Like, she just becomes a yes man. Like, Giselle can legit embarrass her and she won't do a damn thing. But yeah, if somebody else says something, she's going to full on attack them. Or if they say something against Giselle, she's going to become a lapdog. Like, I want Robin to find her own backbone. Like, she has shown that she can really hold her own and stand like 10 toes down on her own outside of Giselle. But like, have you ever had a friendship reduce you? That's Giselle and Robin. And then we get into messy monkey voice Mia. Now, you guys, like I said, I give everybody a clean slate, but Mia, I don't like her. Yeah, I just feel like there's just something off with Mia. Now, her whole entire storyline is her allegedly having cancer. I remember when she posted about her cancer scare like months ago, basically when they started filming. I think the thing with Mia is she took a page out of Ashley Darby's handbook and is trying to have a storyline by any means necessary. And, you know, time will tell. You know, she could be telling the truth, but honestly and truthfully, you guys, like, I just don't get genuine from Mia. Like, she's just not genuine. She's just not her authentic self. And that's why I think she has a hard time connecting with the audience. Like, time will tell, but I can see this being her last season. And then we get into Charisse, aka Regina King's older sister. Now, I will say, you guys, if you guys don't know, Charisse was on this show from season 1, 2, and I think season 3. And then she made like appearances like every now and then. Sometimes she would be at scenes as well and they would cut her completely out of the scene. But Charisse was always like floating in the background. She actually is the glue to this whole entire friend group. Like, she's the one who introduced everybody to each other. And she is actually like the true like real socialite of Potomac. But I will say, Charisse hasn't really stayed on this show because of her dry ass personality. Like, I just gotta keep it real. Like, Charisse just has a dry ass personality, and she, like other people like Mia, was not willing to be like transparent and authentic. So that's why nobody ever connected with her. And then she just came up as a snob. And honestly and truthfully, you guys, I don't like snobs. I don't like snobs. I don't like pompous assholes, and that's what Charisse gave. But, you know, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because she does belong on this show. And then we get into Candace. Unpopular opinion, you guys, I like Candace. I like Candace. Candace, I like her because the audacity. And I like people that have the audacity and lack self-awareness because they're funny to me. Candace to me is like a beautiful bleached asshole, and just like the bleaching process, it requires a lot of maintenance. Her main storyline is going to be about her and Chris going through some turbulence. There's going to be issues with her and her marriage, and then I think down the line, her and Ashley are going to finally become friends. For the longest, I never understood why her and Ashley like didn't get along. Well, actually, I understood because Ashley is an asshole, but it was kind of like disappointing to see like the youngest girls on this show not get along. I think also like Chris is going to be like somewhat flirting with Ashley, so who knows? Like, now me personally, I can't really fully blame Chris. Like, with her and Candace, that was always a ticking time bomb. Like, Chris had to put up with that attitude and that spoiled ass behavior. Like, it was this right here that has transpired between those two. Like, we have just been waiting for it to happen because I don't know any other man that could put up with Candace. But overall with Candace, like, I just keep it real. I do like her. I like her music, and I do see it for her music career. I feel like if she really plays the game, like with this whole entire Real Housewives of Atlanta fame, like she can really spin off and have like a legit mainstream career in singing and acting. But it is what it is. Time will tell. And lastly, we get into Miss Wendy. Miss Wendy has really found her footing on this show, and it feels like she has been a staple on this show for years, but really this is just her third season. I gotta give it to her. She has really done a 180. She looks fabulous, gorgeous. Like, I really like Wendy because I did not see it for her and her 4 degrees during her first season. She's linking up with Peter Thomas. Peter Thomas from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, he couldn't really find his footing on there, so he's coming on over to the bigger show. And honestly and truthfully, I just think Bravo wants to have him on go. Like, Bravo misses Peter Thomas, and they miss what's his name? They miss Apollo. Like, they want these two men back on their screen by any means. Wendy, I think she kind of plays up a little bit of ditziness for the cameras, because the fact that she wants to open up a bar with Peter, but like before the hours of 5, she wants to have like a reading time for kids. And I'm just like, girl, who's gonna bring their kids to a bar for a story time? Like, girl, sit your ass down. The rest of her storyline also is gonna be about her kind of rekindling or kind of like mending her relationship with Giselle, or those two I think are gonna butt heads. I didn't really see the full-on extended trailer, but I'm just judging off the first episode that her and Giselle are either gonna get into it, they're gonna be the main enemies, or they're gonna try to rekindle their friendship, or do they have a friendship? I mean, they were like sorority sisters, but it was very surface level. But overall, I like Wendy. I like Wendy on this show. She's the one girl that I gave a second chance, and she proved me wrong. And I just love seeing her on the show and interacting with these girls. And I think because of her, the main theme of this season is going to be colorism. Because if you guys don't know, or don't want to know, or don't want to admit, there is a colorism issue on this show. Like, it is low-key the Real Housewives version of Basketball Wives. Like, I think that's my main problem with the Real Housewives of Potomac, is that like every single season, like, let's say a new franchise starts, you know, the first 3 seasons are very surface level. Around season 4 or 5, that's when things get into dark territory. And these girls are on season 7, and things have dipped into dark territory. It all started with that fight with Monique and Candace, which we're not going to rehash in the comments. But colorism is going to be the main theme of this season, especially because there is an invisible hierarchy where Ashley, Giselle, and Robin see themselves as better than Candace and Wendy, which Do y'all consider Candace dark skinned? I mean, she's darker than the light skinned girls, but is she dark skinned? But regardless of the fact, there isn't a visible hierarchy, and that is one of the main reasons that has led this show down into dark territory. Also with, you know, the sex scandals, the cheating, and the lies. Like, I feel like we get a rise because this is like fresh, authentic drama, and these girls, for the most part, have an actual genuine friendship. But we gotta keep it real, y'all. I think reality television as a whole is on a decline. I think it's all on a decline because we've pretty much seen it all. We've seen it all, and I think we only really like Potomac because it's fresh drama, but really it's more of the same. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna let these girls ride their last 15 minutes of fame because I can guarantee you they're at the peak of their franchise, and I think around like 8 or 9, they're gonna slowly dip down past the climax. So time will tell, y'all. Overall, I will be watching this season. I don't review shows, though, because, like, when you review a show from episode to episode, you really got to stick with that show. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of these reality shows have filler episodes. So, therefore, I kind of peep in every now and then and talk about something that drives me to talk about it. But overall, y'all, they have taken the crown from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I don't know what they can do to salvage it at this point. Like, I think it's past the point of return, and that's why they kind of just gave up on trying to cast people, and they kept everybody from the previous season on to the next season. And I think they've already started filming too on top of that. They added in one new girl who also has a hair care business, like Kenya, so I think that's going to be the main enemy against Kenya. They're trying to get Kenya to wake up so they can get some good TV and some ratings up. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think about the current state of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and what are your opinions on each cast member of the Real Housewives of Potomac. But those are my views. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to come back at you guys with some more content.